She chose him, and I stepped out of the way. Not because my feelings had disappeared, but because hers already had. When someone's heart stops reaching for you, you don't grip tighter. You let them drift. There was no argument, no raised voices, no desperate attempt to fix what was already gone. Just the two of us, sitting across from each other in the small cafe we once called ours. Same corner table, same chip mugs, but the people drinking from them weren't the same anymore. "I just need some space," she said. But the look in her eyes was truer than her words. She didn't want space. She wanted a life where I wasn't part of the picture. And deep down, I'd already accepted that. I could have pushed back, demanded honesty, begged for something real. But what's the point of asking questions when your soul already knows the answers? So I just nodded. No long speeches, no final promises. Sometimes silence speaks louder than love ever could. Then I walked out. No dramatic goodbye, no emotional scene. Just my footsteps echoing through a place that used to feel like home. The days after were quiet in the heaviest way. Not peaceful, suffocating. Like holding your breath for someone who stopped thinking about you altogether. I stopped checking my phone, stopped visiting our usual spots, stopped replaying her laugh in my head. Friends asked if I was okay. I lied, just tired. They believed it. For a moment, I almost did too. But the truth was far more tangled. I was grieving someone who was still alive, grieving a love that hadn't died. It had simply shifted towards someone else. I eventually found out who he was. The guy from her gym. The one she said she hardly talked to. The one she said was just funny. Funny how quickly a heart moves when someone new starts paying attention. I didn't resent her. I didn't resent him either. What hurt was how easily she stepped into her new life, while I was still sweeping up the remnants of the future we planned like it was guaranteed. So I pushed myself forward, writing in a journal, cutting my hair, changing my routine, trying not to listen to the playlist she made me, trying and failing. I told myself I wouldn't wait for her. And maybe I didn't, at least not out loud. Then one rainy Sunday, walking out of a bookstore with coffee in one hand and my keys in the other, I saw her standing by my car. Soaked, no umbrella, just staring at me with an expression I hadn't seen in a long time. I slowed. She stayed still. Nothing happened until I unlocked the car and she stepped closer. I was wrong. 3 small words, but they tore through every wall I built. She looked drained, exhausted, like someone who'd spent too many nights replaying choices she wished she could undo. I didn't speak, just listened. I thought I knew what I wanted. I didn't. It wasn't him. It was never him. The rain filled the silence between us. "Leaving you felt like freedom at first," she continued, "but all it did was show me how empty freedom is without you." A part of me wanted to shout. Why now? Why after choosing someone else? Why after letting me fall apart alone? But I didn't ask. Instead, I opened the car door, and we sat inside for a long time. No music, no warmth, just 2 people trying to share the same air without breaking. She cried. I didn't. Maybe because I'd already cried enough for both of us. She explained everything. How the new relationship wasn't what she imagined. How she missed being understood. How she laughed less. How the quiet with him felt empty instead of comforting. Then she asked if we could start over. I didn't answer. Because when someone leaves you for another person and comes back full of regret, you can't just say yes. You have to ask yourself, do I miss her? Or do I miss who I was when she was mine? And maybe the truth is this. The version of me she walked away from doesn't exist anymore. We talked a little longer. She asked if she could call me sometime. I said maybe. Because healing isn't a door I swing open for just anyone. Not even for the person who once held every key. So I let her go again. Not out of anger, but out of strength. Because now I understand something I didn't before. When love comes back after choosing someone else, the real question isn't whether they've changed. It's whether you have.